Irish Football Fan TV. This is the player ratings from which the game we just lost. Fun times. Yeah, we got beat again. Another game without a goal, but we're gonna get in and pick the player ratings from tonight's game. And I'm gonna start off with Darren Randolph and goal with 6. Didn't really have a whole lot to do. Made one mistake that led to their goal by just giving it out basically to Matt Doherty when he wasn't ready to receive the ball. And from that, then they obviously get their goal. It was a bit of a mixed ball round there, but the amount of times Darren Randolph has saved us, you can't really go too mental at him for making the one mistake. And that's the hard part of being a goalkeeper, is that no matter what you do, if you make one mistake, it can ultimately lead to a goal. So unfortunately, that's the case there for Darren on this occasion. But I'm going to give him a 6 because he didn't really have a whole lot to do. And yeah, as I say, the only thing he really let us down on was eventually their goal. But it was comfortable throughout that and calm. Other than that, then I have then Enda Stevens at left back, and I have him down for a 6.5. I thought he's done well in spells. When he was on the ball, he was quite good. Anytime we were kind of looking for someone to get involved, he was trying to be that player. He hit the crossbar with a shot on another day that lands in the back of the net. Um, Thought he'd done quite well, and he's been solid in the games, especially when Stephen Kenny's come in. His performances have been questioned under Mick, but I think he's done very well under Stephen Kenny so far. Again, I think results haven't shown that, but I think if you're looking at individual performances, I think he's been one of our best players over the 3 games that were played. So I'm going to give Enda a 6.5. I'm going to give the same rating to Shane Duffy. I thought he done well. Didn't have a whole lot to do. I thought it was one of his quieter games, but I mean, if Shane Duffy's quiet in our box, that's always a good thing, but not necessarily down the other end. He wasn't really a threat. He had a couple of chances, but no more so than usual. He usually gets more of his head on things, but it wasn't to be. And unfortunately, we're just gonna have to start finding a goal scorer, because Shane Duffy can't be the one who scores goals for us continuously all the time. So Shane gets a 6.5 for me. He helped Darragh O'Shea through the game, which I thought was brilliant, and I thought he never really looked trouble himself. And anytime he was kind of in danger, he got back and done his job superbly. So I'm going to give him a 6.5. Then moving to Darragh O'Shea, I'm going to give Darragh O'Shea an 8, and he's my man of the match. I thought Darragh, for someone who came in for his first international, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He looked like he'd been around the international scene for ages, and looks definitely like one who could just slot in now if ever we need him, if he hasn't already made himself a first choice under Steve Kelly. I doubt he get in ahead of John Egan, but I mean, you have someone there ready made to come in who is kind of similar in stature, similarly calm on the ball, and always an option. Defended really well, was good on the ball, calm on the ball, got into good areas to receive the ball off his other defenders and helped his other players out. So I think Dara for me is gets an 8 in the ratings, and he's my man of the match on Ireland's team anyway. I know we lost the game. Then Matt Doherty at right back, I'm going to give a 6 to. I thought he did some things good, some things bad, but never really got into the game, and doesn't really get to show the level of, I suppose, performance that we expect from him, especially when he used to play with Wolves. You expect to see that Matt Doherty getting in, getting on the ball, driving into the opposition's box and forcing them into making mistakes, or maybe taking them down or whatever it is. But don't really see a lot of that when he plays for Ireland. So I'm going to give him a 6. Yeah, he had a couple of chances and he struck one from the edge of the box well wide, which he probably should have got on target, and I think he'll be disappointed with himself. But I think Seamus Coleman has a case to have himself back in the team at right back. But we'll see what happens anyway. I think Matt can still do a job for us. Obviously, he's probably been our highest performing player the last 2 years running. So I'm hoping that he maybe be able to fit the two of them into the same squad, or something like that. But he gets a 6 for me. Howard gets a 6 as well. Didn't do a whole lot. He was sitting in front of the back four and just kind of getting the ball and trying to make things happen. He was unlucky not to try and make things happen when Hendrick had a shot at the edge of the box, which was created from a short Conor Howard free kick. So he was unlucky in that sense. But overall, I felt a 6 is a fair, score on his performance. Wasn't greatly involved, but wasn't bad either. So 6 for me. Jason Malumbi, I'm going to give it 7.5 to. I thought in the first half especially, he was brilliant. He was around. He was zipping around the place, getting the ball, receiving the ball, trying to make things happen, trying to drive into the opposition's box, trying to drive us up the pitch whenever he could, and as well, like when his defence was ever in trouble, he always became an option, and he always got the right angles to try and receive the ball. Fizzled out in the second half. That's probably why he doesn't get up to an 8. With Darrow O'Shea, I thought throughout the whole game was brilliant, so that's why he got the 8. But I think Malumbi wasn't far off, and obviously he came off then towards the end because he just looked like he had ran out of energy. Hendrick started the game really well, pressing, and he nearly set up a chance for Enda Stevens in the game. He hit the crossbar from it, but other than that, he was fairly quiet. So I'm going to give him a 6. But he should be looking over his shoulder because there could be players coming in there trying to look and take his position. Because while he's been in the team, he hasn't done a whole lot to stay in the team, whether it's goals, assists, or anything like that. And I think if you're playing up that part of the pitch, you need to be supplying some sort of goods to take your claim in that position. So I'm going to give Hendrick a 6. Then moving up top on the left hand side, I'm going to give Aaron Connolly a 7. I thought he was the one that the spark up front, I suppose, that we needed, and the one that was kind of a constant threat. Um, a bit greedy at times, and probably because of that, we didn't get the goals that we probably wanted from him tonight, or maybe the goals from other people because he was a bit selfish when he went into the centre forward role. But I thought when he was on the left hand side, he was getting the ball, he was trying to run at them, he was taking fouls, he was getting us in good positions up the pitch, but it just wasn't the case. The ball just wouldn't go in for him tonight. So he gets a 7 from me, but I think as time goes on, I think he's going to be our danger man a lot of the time in games. So I think 7 is a fair reflection on him, but you can tell me otherwise in the comments if you feel like he should have got higher or lower. Then in the right hand side, we had Daryl Horgan. Thought had a really good game in the first half. Fizzled out towards the second half. He was, trying to make things happen. He was direct. He was running at them, and he impressed me at the start. But then he just fizzled out as time went on. I don't know whether that's a lack of minutes or whether that's the fact, he's playing international football. He can't keep running at teams. Eventually, you're going to run out of steam. I think that's what happened to him. So I think I'll give Daryl Horgan a 6.5. I think that's a fair reflection considering his second half display wasn't amazing. So his first half display was quite good, but his second half display was not amazing. So 6.5 for Daryl Horgan, and then Sean Maguire gets a 6. I don't think he done anything of note other than a good bit of play down the left hand side and cut into the box. Gave it into Horgan, who then gave it to Hendrick, and it was a chance that went. It was blocked by their defence. So I think Maguire had a chance tonight to show what he could do for Stephen Kenny, and I don't think he really got the chance to show. I don't think he was that effective, and I don't think Stephen Kenny would probably have him as a first choice player. Robbie Brady then come off the bench for Maguire. I would give Robbie a 6. I thought at times he tried to get on the ball, he tried to make things happen, but his delivery was poor tonight, and just I expect better from Robbie Brady just because he set such high standards for himself. Maybe he can go back to Burnley, get a run of games, and come back into the team on a bit of form again, because I just didn't think he was effective tonight, and I know he can be effective as the thing. So he gets a 6 for me. Ronan Curtis, who came on, I wasn't going to give the subs any ratings because I don't think they were on for long enough, but I'm going to give Curtis a 7 because of his header. He became really close to equalising for us, and that was probably the best chance we had then when the subs came on. Ida, I, you know, 6, but he didn't have a whole lot to do, or he didn't get a whole lot of the ball. So I'd give him a 6. No, I'm not going to give a rating to, but I did think it was great to see him get his first cap. But I'd like to see him get his first cap and his first win. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Maybe that'll be the case on maybe his home debut. We hope, and maybe we'll get more minutes from him, because tonight was, to come on in like the 82nd minute and then not really play too much of a part. It was a bit harsh on him. But look, I think you can check out the other videos we've done. The after match reaction, the instant match reaction from Gary, and Gary's 3 talking points are all on the channel. If you're watching the channel, you're new, you're returning, and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Don't forget to like the video as well, and stay tuned tomorrow then for our final word show. And if there's anything else you want us to discuss, please leave it in the comments and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching as always, guys, and we'll speak to you soon.